saints preserve us. We be coming to you live from Killashandra, Ireland, for our St. Patrick's Day edition of the NA Contender. I be being your host, Yaku of the Saint Yaku of the Zaku. With me today, I be having El Duende de Tequila himself. Top of the morning to you, like.
It's St. Patrick's Day?
Apparently, that's what Google's telling me.
Wait, what?
That's what Google's telling me.
Holy shit. You're right. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Yaku.
Yeah.
Huh. The day is almost over for us in Southeast Asia and in Australia. Yep.
But you know, never too early to get drunk.
Hope you celebrated it well. To those of you in America who are watching, happy St. Patrick's Day to you tomorrow, since we're a day ahead. So, you know.
You see it into the future.
Exactly. It's full of disappointment.
That's what happens when we get the leprechauns.
But we are back after a long week. You know, last week we did group stage 1. All the scores were put in for the groups that we didn't cast. You know, we casted group B and C last week, and now here we are with group stage 2, casting group B and C again. But
a different group B and a different group C.
Yeah.
Different players, although some of them we do know, as we did cover them.
Yeah, some of them we do know from last week. Do we want to talk a little bit about group B, which is what we'll be casting today?
Sure. So over at the top of this little group, we have got the Canadian Protoss. It is Lightning, like the Final Fantasy character, I'm assuming.
Potentially. We made assumptions last week, if you remember, about a couple of players. I don't know if we want to clear some things up now.
Nope.
It's behind us.
No, we do not. Can't worry about the past.
But something interesting that I like about this group already, looking at the Wikipedia group, right, is that last week we cast nothing but American players. Here, we have a bunch of Canadians.
Exactly. It's just Ward.
It's Ward against the Canadians.
I always knew it would come to this.
The lone American standing strong. So we do have Lightning.
Herd of Moose.
The Protoss player. We have someone who you can't really tell because we can only see 2 groups on stream, but Serial, the Zerg player, he is the only Zerg player in the entirety of group stage 2. He's the only Zerg player left.
That is accurate.
That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to cast this group. It's like he's literally the only person. We need to give him some love. We need to give the race some love. We need to see if he falls or if he rises, you know.
Yeah, will he be like Lucky Charms or will he be like Cornflakes?
Lucky Charms aren't a thing here, so I don't. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although, what kind of cereal are we talking?
That's a good question.
That's a discussion for a different point.
Yeah, that's cereal on its own is very vague. It could be anything.
Are we talking about breakfast cereal or are we talking about grains?
Anyway.
Yep.
we also have Ward, the Terran player, who we casted last week.
Comes from the Ward clan. And we did cast him last week. Apparently no relation to Wardy. However,
none whatsoever.
However, it's someone to cheer for.
Yeah. You know, we know him, we love him. He came out pretty strong last week. You know, he was one of the players who didn't fall to Duddles. Thankfully. Question mark. Oh no, sorry, I was thinking of Defiance. Ward, he came out first in his group. He was looking pretty dominant.
That
Right.
is accurate.
Yeah, he didn't drop a single
He
series.
was, yeah, I think he was definitely the favorite of last week. Definitely has quite a bit of hype behind him. Definitely he's got some fans over here in the chat. And finally, we got Darkblade, the DT master.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these guys we really don't know. I hope Darkblade lives up to his name, unlike Tank the Frank, who did not go mech last week. I'm still a little bit salty about that, not gonna lie. I'm disappointed. Darkblade, I hope he doesn't
Just call
disappoint.
himself Frank the Frank.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That Frank isn't even your name. But yeah, we'll see what he has to offer. Speaking of Darkblade, we have him first up.
Do we?
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
Are you good? Do you have the order? Do you have the order of the matches?
Possibly.
It should be Serial. Should be a ZVP.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Alright, we're good. We're good.
And let's jump right on in.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Oh, wait, I'm observing.
You're observing for yourself, yes.
Oh, wait, yeah. I'm not. Okay. This is fine.
It's you know, unfortunately, the technology just isn't there for, you know, us to be able to see what each other can see in replays for some reason. Actually,
we're not observers, apparently.
Yeah. I think we talked about it last week.
We did. How the replay system essentially makes the AI perform the exact same actions as the players.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking
You go for
of the players, here we have it in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream. LE. LE, of course, stands for Legacy E Returns. That sounds about right. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have representing ACSS, as well as Canada. We got the Red Zerg, the only Zerg in this entire tournament that's still alive. Give it up for Serial.
And spawning in the top right, but also in the bottom left with a massive proxy, we have the Protoss player who, you know what? I like him already. He's representing the Gosu crew. It is Darkblade. With a full wall off.
Yeah, actually. Not in his main, mind you, but...
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but he's... Dude, what if, like, a unit spawns and it spawns on the wrong side? Like...
That's a risk the rallies are not willing to take.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but...
Let's see this now.
Yeah, this is the first week with the new maps for these new players, or for these players, so... Could be the first time they're playing, since they did play this, like, a couple of days ago.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I'm not too sure how that will really factor into things. A couple of results are already up out in the map now.
Yeah,
not exactly
Serial,
Darkblade.
He canceled his
nonetheless.
Yeah, he canceled his natural and is making all these spines as well, as he does see that there is nothing on the other side of the map. But he has to pull his drones. He has to try and protect it all.
that he does. He also has to protect his spines. They are in a very vulnerable position right now.
Yeah.
These Zerglings need to get the best rounds of their life, but the micro of Darkblade is not allowing that to happen. A couple of these spines are bruised, but they will be able to get out. And you know what? Spines, they actually, they're not that tanky compared to Zealots.
They're not. A second spine already goes down. One of them is already almost dead as well. There are a couple of Lings, but there are just so many Zealots that the Lings aren't enough. He has to fight with the spines. Like, without the spines, he can just lose his army. And he also needs to think about a backup plan as well. Like, if he wants, like, roaches or what.
He does kind of have a backup plan, as you do see a drone in the other side of the map.
Ooh.
Maybe thinking of getting a proxy of his own, but I'm just not convinced he'll be able to get it up when he has this. Well, he needs spines. He needs to invest in spines. He needs to invest in his army. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get out of the hatchery.
He's getting out a huge wave of Lings. He has another spine on the way, but there are just so many Zealots right now. There's 4 more on the way. Oh, I like this.
Just ignoring them.
Yeah. There's nothing at home. There's not even like a pylon, or sorry, there is a pylon, but there's no. I don't think there's warp gate. No, there isn't. So he can't warp in defensively. Oh, but the Zealots go in.
Nice body blocking here with the drones. It's definitely one way to make use of the SimCity. It's going to be getting surrounded immediately like that, and Serial will take game 1.
All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's hard to say what the skill levels of these players are. Like, from what we can see, it looks like Serial may be the favorite, but just based off of their borders.
Well, considering Serial wasn't in the previous group stage, I'm thinking he was immediately seeded here. Or was he? Let me just take a double check. Yep, Serial was directly seeded into group stage 2. So I would definitely say that Serial has the advantage, is the favorite going in.
Yeah. I'm not too sure how the seeding works, if it's like previous season seeding or MMR based, but yeah. All right, I think the players are ready. I think they're spamming a little bit.
Okay. You know what? I can turn this whole thing around. I can
Darkblade, calm down.
I can turn it all the way around. You know. You better watch out. But we're gonna go load into Golden Wall. Our players wanting to try out the new maps, and speaking of new maps. Here we have it in the left side of the map, spotting in the left side of Golden Wall. LE, of course, stands for Lengthy Endowment. We in the left-hand side of the map, we have the Red Zerg, representing ACSS, as well as the frozen north of Canada. We have Serial.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Wall LE, this time not quite proxying, potentially. We'll see. He is the Canadian Protoss player representing Team Gosu Crew. It is Darkblade.
Not coming into any proxies this time. Serial will have to be much more careful, though, as you do see him singing out that Overlord.
Yeah, he does have the Overlord go north first, just to make sure, there's nothing too crazy coming out. He did go for a pull first. Yeah, so we already have those Lings headed across the map, and Darkblade should be okay. He's chronoing out his first Zealot, so it should be out in time for this. As long as he hold positions properly, he should just have a full wall off. This wall is looking a little bit weird, though.
Big if. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. It just looks a bit awkward.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I see what you mean. Yeah, with 2 pylons having to block it off.
Yeah.
But if it works, it definitely works, and it is working for the time being. No! The Zealot!
Oh, no, no.
That
Oh,
was a
my
big hit!
God.
Oh my
Darkblade! Oh, God. No.
If the Zealot is hold positioning, about that. Got some news for you, bud.
It was hold positioning. He was just a little bit too greedy. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna just swipe a bit and then pull back, and oh my God. Protoss players out there, hold position your Zealots. Just calm down just wait for the adept to come out. You'll be fine. It's okay. You'll be fine. Oh God.
That was a pretty quick series.
Yeah, that was a very quick series. GG. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Things continue to play out like that. I think we're gonna have another day where we only have one break instead of two.
What a series. Oof.
What a series.
Yeah. Again, it's a little bit of a it's hard. It's difficult because this is a new map pool, and walling is something that you need to kind of get used to with these new maps. I mean, even as a Terran player, you've experienced it yourself, right? Where I think Milk, he was going through walling on Everdream as well. When it comes to like your third CC, and the amount of pylons, or like the building positioning, like you know, it's something that you have to get used to in a new map pool.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
I suppose it's one of those things where people say, well, it carries over the knowledge that you could have. You'd think it would.
You think it would, and for the most part it does, but some of these naturals are a bit unnatural, and they do cause if you will, and they do cause like these weird situations, and yeah, just a rough first series for Darkblade. Did manage to proxy.
He didn't even get to live. Yeah, he didn't even get to show off his name.
Exactly. That's the most disappointing part. If I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, there we have it. Our first series is done, and we're gonna get into series number 2.
Right. Number 2, a series planned ahead. It's gonna be a matchup, which I think is gonna be very popular amongst these parts. You already know what I'm talking about. You already know. It's gonna be Ward versus Serial, a TVZ. One of the I would say the most popular matchup in StarCraft 2, definitely to watch and to play as well. Let's get on into it. Serial, he's pumped. He's coming out. He's warmed up. He wants to play a bit of a. He wants them wins.
That he does. God damn it, Yaku. Alright, the lobby has been made. We're getting into it, and I'm looking forward to this because we saw Serial react well to proxies, to this kind of aggression. But Ward, you know, from what we saw last week, he was more of a macro player. He was more of like a solid, like, Terran, you know? And I want to see how he shapes up against Serial. To be fair, we haven't really seen Serial in macro play, but that's also why I want to see it, you know? I want to see how they face off against each other.
For sure. I do think that Ward did show off a very strong macro style last week, but there were more than one series where his crisis management was really being put to the test. And I think that if Serial wants to exploit something out of Ward, this might be one of them. Mm-hmm. Ward did defend pretty well, but did look a little shaky at times.
That he did. And yeah, we'll see how Serial shapes up, you know, and how he compares.
I like the marshmallow shape.
There's a bunch of puns happening.
No.
God damn it, Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of goddammit steel, here we have it in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Zen. LE. We have LE of course stands for Lemming Eternal. Lemmings Eternal. That was a fun game back in the day. We've got the red Zerg spawning in the bottom left, representing Team ACSS. If you just take a quick little look at that logo, that's a bunch of flags.
There's like a little bit of text at the bottom. I think I can't really make out what it is.
That there is.
What is that?
But stop spinning for a sec. I'm just taking a screenshot and reading it later. We have somebody who's already eager and on the way. One of the favorites going into this group, but also perhaps, going up against another one of the favorites in this group. Let's see how it plays out. We have the only Zerg player left in the tournament. It is Serial.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Zen LE, we have a Terran player that we've seen before last week dominate his group as it was Group B. Here he is in Group Stage 2. Can he do the same? We have the lone American player in this group. He is Ward.
See, Ward doesn't have a logo that spins around that has words on the bottom. I like it.
Yeah, he's also teamless. That's why. So, if you're an amateur team, if you're looking for a strong Terran player, maybe keep an eye out for Ward, depending on how he does in this group. Could be a nice pickup. Meanwhile, we've had a pretty economic opener from Serial.
I like it.
Yeah. It was actually very greedy.
Don't have a lot to add to that, but yeah, you can definitely get away with quite a bit of greed on Zen.
Ooh, he blocks it!
Unless a Reaper comes in.
Nice.
There we have it.
But it was a very greedy opening. He went hatch gas pool, so his pool was very late. That's why there are no lings out, and that's why we've got the Reaper here just wailing away at this gas. There is a queen on the way though, so we'll eventually ward this off.
Waddling slowly. That is definitely going to take a while. Ward has been able Serial has been able to delay this natural base as well, and get a couple of pickoffs. He's getting another one. Oh, the depot did not get lifted. Serial gets a fantastic scout going in, and now Ward is going to be forced to pull the boys. 3 SCVs have already gone down, and I think even more could. The Hellions do pop out, but not before another SCV falls, and it's just piling on. 5 SCVs in total. That's not
insane.
what you want to happen or this early in the game. Yeah,
that's unheard. 5 SCVs for those first couple of lings. That's crazy to me.
This early into the game, absolutely.
Yeah,
Ward is he's gonna have to fight back pretty hard if he wants to stay in this game.
It's a very rough start for him. Especially with Serial, already working on his third. He did force that drone to turn into a gas at the third, so there are little wins like that, but 5 workers at the beginning is rough. And to be fair, there are a lot of Hellions. Yeah, there are a lot of Hellions coming out. If he can deal a lot of economic damage, then he can stabilize, or he can bring things back into balance, I should say.
Much like the Avatar, Ward is actually piling on the Hellions. This is not stopping.
He's not stopping.
How many is he? 6? And he's getting 8? He's getting even more. Ah, Jesus. If he continues to make more Hellions after 8, that's when Serial should really start to worry.
Yeah, I mean, he does have vision with his Overlord at the natural, so he sees the amount of Hellions. He also sent an Overlord into the main base of Ward, and he saw the 111 without a tech lab, so he should be getting ready for this. He should be fine, since he did see all those Hellions, but we'll see as he didn't tech into roaches. He does have a roach one, but there are no roaches on the way, just pure Ling and Queen.
but sometimes queens can definitely be enough to deter the Hellion force. The positioning of the Roach Warren is definitely one thing that's very strategic. Serial did.
Yeah.
Ward is gonna have to lose a couple of Hellions here, but does he commit to killing the queens? He does want to try, but he backs away. He realizes that it's something that he just can't do right now.
Yeah, and it's always one of those hard decisions to make as a Terran when you go for this opener is, do I commit and run past the queens with these Hellions? Because sometimes it works out and you get a bunch of kills, and sometimes you just get caught out by a bunch of Lings. So
that is definitely accurate.
Yeah, and we do have all those Lings waiting in the natural for him to overcommit, so he does have to be careful with those Hellions.
On the one hand, though, this is also kind of forcing Serial to commit to making Lings, yes? Or maybe not, because now he's getting 10 drones.
He is droning apart. He's got double Evos as well. Interestingly, he's getting the Roach upgrade, so he's committing to Roaches. Oh, is he gonna get a Queen? Maybe?
Clutch Transfuse does pop in, but the other queens are still in effect. They're still trying to chase away these Hellions as best they can, and they actually do.
That they do. Meanwhile, Serial just sent an Overseer into the main of Ward. It got picked off, but not before seeing all of the production. So he does know that there is a bio transition coming. It's not just like pure mech or anything like that. So we should be seeing like a Baling Nest come out, I imagine.
And I kind of like this from Ward, considering he's being very conservative with his Hellions.
Oh,
if he's
God,
able to,
hurts.
never mind! They are getting caught out and surrounded. All of it gets annihilated right there. I was about to say, and I actually kind of like this for Ward, because if he keeps his Hellions alive and morphs them into Hellbats later on, that's going to make his push even more powerful. But now, not so much. Ward, he's playing catch up on every front. And in terms of bases, in terms of workers, in terms of army, I'm not convinced he'll be able to win it. Multiprong is trying to go in.
I mean, he's still in a pretty good position. He just looked away at the wrong time, at the wrong moment for those Hellions. But, you know, he's able to push away the army, but you can already see in the supplies, like, he's starting to fall behind. Serial, he is taking full advantage of his map control. He's getting a 4th base. He's getting his 1-1 upgrades as well. He's teching up to, you know, he's getting his Baling Nest. It's just looking really, really nice for Serial right now.
Absolutely. I do think it just comes back to Serial had a very greedy early game, and Ward, he kind of let him get away with it. He didn't want to risk his Hellions, but unfortunately, we kind of saw how that turned out. A double drop here with the medevac could be one way that Ward starts to shift the fate.
I mean, he spots the army in the middle of the map.
Back into his favor.
Ward does, so maybe he could like drop the army, drop the units, and attack from behind, but the tanks are a little bit exposed.
They are, but they're also spread out decently well. The Marines are going to try to come in to provide a little bit of a buffer. There is only one tank left. He needs to land the Viking, I think.
Yeah, there's a second tank behind this. He could potentially hold that. Drop is on the other side of the map, but it gets pushed away as well.
That, in fact, it does. I think this might be the beginning of the end. Ward is, he was behind for way too long, and now he's kind of paying the price for it.
Yeah, that he is. The drop finally comes back home, but now there's only one tank left. There's Roach Ravager here. The 3rd is forced to lift up, and it's just pure bio.
But how is the positioning? That's the one question you want to ask right now. Ward, even though he's at a pretty big advantage, there are scenarios where Serial could take a bad engagement. But I gotta say, it's not looking likely.
Especially with just like, now he finally has a second tank. If he sieges it up, like maybe he can push this force back, but even then he's on 2 bases as opposed to Serial on 4.
That it is, man. It's not looking good. It's all I can really say at this point.
Yeah, right now Ward, he's kind of just being contained. Yeah, like maybe with his medevacs he can try and do a drop and pull him back or something, but it's just looking worse and worse as time goes on.
That it definitely is. Serial does not want to overcommit and basically make the same mistake as Ward did with his Hellions there. But is a little bit worrisome. This is a pretty big choke point and a good position for a Terran player to take. The Biles do go down, but yeah, none of them connect. And now all of these Roaches are so badly bruised, but at the same time, not all of the Marines are fighting with this army. These Roaches have to walk once again through tank range. And now Ward is looking for the counterattack. This counterattack has to do so much. It has to get damage done. It has to kill a base. It has to completely wipe out Serial's army.
It has to end the game.
But is that asking? Absolutely. I think that just might be asking too much.
Yeah, like the best he can hope for is maybe like Doom drop into the main and get like a really good position. But here we have the armies clashing in the middle of the map.
The Zerglings are trying to go for a flank, but Serial pulls back in the end. He wants to fight in more favorable ground, and that means fighting on creep.
Meanwhile, we have +3 armor on the way. We have adrenal glands as well. He's pushing through with 3 tanks, which is, you know, pretty good, but there are banelings now in this army for the Zerg player. And meanwhile, we do have a run by in the natural of Ward.
And this, if Ward wasn't all in before, he is now. Losing the medevacs to the Biles, that is just not... That ain't ideal.
Yeah, and now he gets into the main as well.
Ward is kind of pulling back every single unit to defend against this.
Yeah, and that's...
I just think it's a little too late.
I think he should have committed. To be fair, even if he did commit, it's a hard game to win regardless. And he comes home, he cleans it up, but to what end, really? Like, Serial, he's
18 versus 81 workers, 5 bases versus 3. And the army supplies, it's even in favor of Serial.
Hey, we've got Ultras on the way.
We do have Ultras on the way, and Aspire, because why not? Only 1 medevac, it's out of energy. I don't know, man. I'm trying to hype up our American Terran player, but it's hard.
The lone American, you know, like he's here, he's trying his best. You know, that's what we can definitely say about this. But here comes the
but look at this! All of the banelings are clumped up, and they do fall to the tanks. But there's just so many. The Ultralists do come in to just add insult to injury, and this is just about it. There's no army whatsoever left. GG is called, and Serial takes game 1.
True, that was game 1.
Accurate.
Yeah, and that kind of it just kind of snowballed, you know, from the beginning. Ward starting off already economically behind, Serial being greedy and getting away with it as well, and Ward kind of just losing his force. Those 8 Hellions, right? He started off with 8 Hellions and they didn't do anything. He also got a Liberator, and I don't think that did anything either. To be fair,
no, it did not.
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, I definitely think it was a bit of a domino effect. There were moments in that game where Ward was behind, but it didn't look like it was unwinnable.
Yeah.
But those moments just kept happening until eventually they stack up.
To be fair, you could argue that it's also the map, Zen LE, because with just a single building, like in that game with a Roach Warren, you can just block off that ramp into the natural. There is only one attack path, and that's into the 3rd. So if you go for a 1-1-1 with a bunch of Hellions, and there's only one way in, like it's pretty easy to defend as a Zerg player. So you could also argue that it's because of the map as well, that it's just easier to ramp up like that. As opposed to other maps where typically there's a way into the natural and then a way into the 3rd separately, right?
Yeah, you slip in, you bamboozle the queens, you slip out.
Exactly.
Go in from the other location. And I think that's definitely something that we may see, depending on the opening, over on our next map, Simulac Rum. Players are ready. Let's jump into it.
We go.
How will this pan out? Remember, these two are basically the favorites of this group. This one series may determine who makes it out first.
That has nothing to do with the fact that we know nothing about lightning.
Yes, but yes, In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum. Yar har fiddly d L-E by the sea. Why don't you come down with me for 3? Ellie, of course, standing for Lone Excavationist. Lone Excavationist. That's when you have only one SCV, and that's all that you have for mining. You gotta rely on mules, otherwise. We've got the Reds representing ACSS, as well as the what do I know about Canada?
Maple Moose.
The Maple, Toronto Maples. We have the only Zerg player in this group, and so far, I'm telling you, it looks like he's a favorite. Can he make it out first? Can he beat his opponent? We have Serial.
And in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, we have the Terran player representing himself as he is teamless, as well as the land of the free. The lone American in this group, he is Ward.
And we're starting to see a shift. No, wait, I'm looking into the future again. We are starting to see a shift. There we have it. Immediately, Serial throws down that Roach Warren. It's something that Ward is going to have to scout. And it looks like he will.
It's going to be imperative. He's going for that Reaper. So, you know, if he will be on the other side of the map.
The SCV pulls back.
The SCV didn't commit to going to the main. So...
Well, the Reaper's just checking around for any proxies, it seems.
Yeah, it's weird. It's staying here at home. To be fair, it's because I think he's a little bit paranoid. Remember last game, the Lings did sneak around, and here he is. He's trying to catch the Lings and make sure he doesn't lose five. He doesn't lose 5 SCVs just like last game, right? So
by this time he realizes it's only 2.
Mm-hmm.
The gears are spinning a little bit. He's got to be thinking.
Yeah, he's being a little bit too safe. Like, again, he's keeping it here at home because he wants to make sure Lings don't ruin his day, which is understandable. But, you know, because of that, he's kind of getting mind gamed right now. This is Roach Warren.
That he kind of is. He does have a decent position here. If, I don't know, man. He is still going for that Hellion build, which is definitely not ideal for defending against roaches. But
yeah,
it does just come down to knowledge, him knowing.
Yeah,
it's coming for him.
It's all about scouting.
He still needs to, he still needs to adjust his build in order to defend.
Exactly, you need to prioritize getting units out. Things like tanks or marines, like these Hellions, they don't trade well at all. And
the roaches are here.
The roaches are here. He now sees what has happened. He knows. Oh god, he's gonna lose a Hellion already. Not a good start. He's gonna lose his mules.
He does. He's gonna lose mules. He's gonna continue to get. He is continuing to get Hellions right now. He is getting Marauders though with Concussive Shell, so that will definitely help out quite a bit. Even just one Marauder, if it can soften up the roaches for the Hellions to clean up.
Yeah, and he does stand the Viking, and that helps a lot. You know, he does have pooled SCVs here to repair just in case, so he does hold. He is fine. And again, like, these roaches weren't meant to kill, they were meant to cripple, and they kind of did. You know, they killed 2 mules and they forced him out of the natural. Meanwhile, here comes...
For how long though?
Yeah.
Question.
And this is what's meant to end it. You know, it's like the 1-2 punch. First the roaches come to cripple, and then the... Say it.
Tu base muta.
2 base muta.
To kill.
Actually 2 base muta. There's no third. It's legit. It's happening, Yaku. It doesn't happen all the time, but somehow whenever you're casting, this pops up.
Yeah. But speaking of what's popping up, I do like that Ward has switched up his build quite a bit. He is not going for the standard Hellion push. He's switched into Hellbat Marauder. And if he can deny the Spire, or even just delay the Spire, that's going to be how Ward turns this around, I do think.
He needs to scatter it as well. He's pushing here at the front, which is quite nice, and it looks like he's going to be able to push through with these Hellbats. Like, again, Serial was being very greedy, and the Spire is spotted.
Spire is spotted. Ward is not yet going to be adjusting or getting precautions for that, but I'm on the opinion that he might not need to.
Yeah, he might not need to.
Serial is just pumping out more and more roaches to try to deal with this, but the Marauders, they're still alive, and they're what's really taking out Serial's army right now.
Exactly, he's able to take out everything here at the natural. He did pull a lot of drones back into the main though, so you know he does lose minimal units.
There's a Liberator.
There is a Liberator, and no mutas are on the way. Like, he's just focusing on nothing but roaches, and one of the Ravager hits. Biles do hit.
Not gonna be. Especially not much zoning out here. The roaches are now being backed into a corner to his opponent's army to be. He is juggling as best as he can.
I think he's done it.
Yeah, very soon. And we are back after that drop bear came in and decided to crash into the roof of the studio. We were able to bribe it to go away. So everybody, cross your fingers and hope that it's not going to come back with an army of emus. But we have agreed, the players have agreed to leave that game and to play it out from replay. Yep, resume from replay. Let's get into it then.
Yep, we will be resuming at 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
Here's the thing, Light. If we can't expect the players to resume what it was if we don't resume our state of being at 6 minute 40 second. So where were we?
There was a lot happening. Hopefully, Kuro, I don't know if you can in OBS, but yep, just look away for a bit as we set this up. And yes, a lot had happened. There were Serial had gone for a very fast Roach Warren, and he had pushed out across the map.
He did push out across the map, but then Ward defended against him, and then he managed to push him all the way back with his Hellbat Marauder.
So Ward, he lost his mules. He was forced to lift up his natural. He pushed back. As he was pushing back, Serial was taking up to Spire as he was going for 2-base mute up. But Ward counterattacked. He was hitting with Hellbats and Marauders with concussive shell. He was hitting the natural. He forced the evacuation of the natural and
Liberator in, and here we are resuming. Here it is. The players, they are looking to get things done.
Yeah, and I guess he picks up and flies away. So pushed into the natural. We can see 13 workers did go down, and he was forced back by this Roach Ravager army from Serial.
Not before taking 13 drones with him, and potentially more with this Lib.
Oh, the Lib.
I like that positioning. Yeah, I like that positioning. Put it over the Geyser. And because the only anti-air is Ravagers, you know what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, and you have to be careful as well because that natural is on fire. It means nothing for Zerg buildings, but it is on fire.
Yeah, that just means it's the MVP. It's working hard.
Yeah, and again, it looks like he's committing to this. He's pumping out a couple of mutas, but again, Sim just finished up for Ward. He is getting more and more Marines out. He should be perfectly fine. He saw the Spire as well. Maybe he could be thinking like, nah, he's not gonna go for mutas now, right? Like, I stopped him. But just in case, like, he's got a pretty good setup.
That he does. He is getting just a handful of turrets. They're not spamming all over, but he also does know that Serial, sorry, probably doesn't have the worker count to support a problem of Mutalisks. So as you see now, he does only have 2, and that's not going to be much of a threat to what Ward has set up.
what is a threat is that even though Serial lost 13 workers, if you recall, he did send a lot of them. He did evacuate his natural, and he did save a lot of them. And we can see he is only down by 3 workers compared to Ward. These mutants are not really doing much here in the main. They're just kind of poking away at the gas guys. Oh, the Widow Mine.
Widow Mine is getting in place, and it does actually chase away the Mutalisk. That was very nicely done. And speaking of nicely done, here comes round 2 for Ward. He is landing his Vikings as well, not really splitting. Okay, there's the split, and it looks like it's going to be more than enough. This concave is absolutely real. All of these Marauders are starting to really whittle down the health of these roaches, allowing for the Stim Marines to really just clean up, essentially.
Yeah, and again, Ferocious Ravagers are not what you want against Bio. Like, he just pushes through, kills everything. The Queen's gonna go down, the Natural's gonna go down as well. He pulls the probes,
but there's a lot. He does, but there are a lot of roaches that are coming in mid-production. But while that's going on, the mines are making themselves useful. The medevacs come in with energy. Ward has taken game number 2, tying up the series sideways 1-1.
1-1. I like it. GG. So, you know, we had game number 1 go Serial's way, where he just was insanely greedy and macroed up and kind of overwhelmed Ward. This game, though, Serial being a little bit cheeky, trying to catch Ward off guard, but he just goes for a really strong counterattack and just absolutely demolishes Serial's army and pushes through. And what are we even going to see in game 3? I kind of want something. This is, you know, the ace match of this series, but I want something crazy, Yaku.
8 racks.
Get back into this. Not that
Proxy
crazy.
hatch.
Calm down, Yaku.
Spine rush.
I wouldn't mind
place
Proxy hatch.
are eager.
That they are.
And looks like we're going to jump into Everdream. You know, I saw on Battle of the Americas that Milk was doing LE again, so I thought, all right, LE is back. And speaking of which, here we have it in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE. We are now sideways 1-1 in this best of 3 series. This is the ace match. We have in the top left right-hand corner of Everdream, LE. LE, of course, standing for Lithuanian exclamation. Lithuanian exclamation. That's a name. That's somebody's name, probably. We have the Red Zerg being overwhelmingly greedy and having it working out for him, but then trying to be a little cheeky, but not having that work out. What is gonna come up next? It is the Red Zerg, the only Zerg left in NA Contenders, representing ACSS as well as the Commonwealth of Canada. We have Serial.
And in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the lone American fighting back, tying it up 1-1 in that last game. Here he is in the final ace match of this series. Can he bring it back? Can he win? He is Ward.
Nothing crazy yet.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I'm very interested to see what Ward does with this Reaper. We did see last game, almost to his detriment, he was very, very safe with that Reaper. He kept it at home basically the entire time, worried about like early lings and stuff like that. So will he do the same again, or is he feeling a little bit more confident? And there we have it.
There we
go
do.
for it. He's just beelining. He's like, whatever. Like, this is the last game. You're not gonna pull first me. Nah. Of course not.
But what if he did? He didn't. But
he didn't.
Gonna try to get this drone block once again, but Serial is not even gonna play that game. Straight for the extractor. The Fort of Storm Force is coming in, and this is a fresh SCV. This looks like a fresh SCV sent in by Ward. Sent to die, that is.
That it did. And yeah, he did return. Did he return with that Reaper?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
rather,
yeah.
he's going home with that Reaper. So Serial is feeling pretty safe to claim his third.
That he is.
Well, Ward, no, he's switching things up quite a bit, and I do like this.
Yeah, we've got
2-1-1 coming down.
Solid 2-1-1. Which I'm a fan of. I do quite like this. It allows Ward to be pretty aggressive with his following push. And unlike game number 1, where he couldn't really find much with his 8 Hellions, I imagine he should be able to deal some damage with this Marine push with Stim. I'm a little bit surprised how late the starport is.
There it is.
Yeah, typically you see it a little bit earlier than this. Right?
But a little bit, but I think if you did take it earlier, it wouldn't quite line up with his stim or with his marine count. Not too sure what the idea was, but you can also definitely get away with a slightly later starport on Everdream. This is a fairly short rush distance.
That it is, and we still don't see Serial going in with that Overlord Scout. Oh, never mind. He did. He does see the 2-1-1, so he does know exactly what he's up against. And his response, he's getting Evos, no Baneling Nest, surprisingly, just pure Queen Ling.
Yeah, I think
can definitely do the trick.
I think he thinks it's going to play out like game number 1. I think he wants to just rely on his queens, maybe as his lings as well, but I gotta say, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. If Ward is good with his target firing, and if he doesn't get his army caught off guard and surrounded by lings, I gotta say, I think Ward is going to be in a good position to just snowball a victory.
Well, to me, it all depends on the angle that Ward attacks with this drop. So he is loading up now, and because he has medevacs, he doesn't have to hit the third. He could go right into the main, or he could try and go into the natural instead. And it's going to depend on where his units are and where the queens are in
whatchamacallit,
yeah.
No, wait, what's what I'm thinking of? God.
I was gonna say comparison.
Relation.
Relation, yes, exactly. And oh god,
the
queens.
That they are the queens are. There was a very quick pullback for Ward, so you gotta. He was able to keep them all alive, but if he gets surrounded by the lings, this is not gonna look good. He's got to stim. He could definitely trade if he stimmed, I think, but hot pickup was the safer option. So you have the safer option. Ward is looking pretty safe with his wall off, and so Serial does not try to go straight for it.
Yeah, Ward is forced back home, and not a good start because behind that a fourth is being taken by Serial.
Absolutely, Ward wanted to do damage in the early game, and to just get that completely denied, it's annoying to say the least, but at the same time, it doesn't really mean that Ward is particularly behind. He's building up his tank count. It's still relatively early-ish in the game. Yeah. You can just go across the map with 1-1 and with Stim, Combat Shield, and 2-3 tanks. Should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. So these medevacs that are being sent out, he wants to deal some damage with them. There will be a follow-up push that is meant to deal like a lot more, which will be with the tanks and 1-1. So that will be the follow-up, but we'll see what he is able to do with these starting drops. And so far,
but one thing you have to consider is that the starting drop is also mostly looking to set up advantages for that push. But it looks like it doesn't even matter. Ward decides, you know what, I'm just going to pool all of my units together. I'm just going to go straight for it. I do not care what you have, because you know what?
This is
split. I can split, puppy.
Is risky. He's doing this with one tank, and he's only just now starting to clear up the creep, but he's going pretty deep into it.
That he definitely is. The splits aren't bad, and there isn't quite Baneling speed yet. But there we go, the Baneling speed does hit. And yeah, Serial is not wasting his Banelings. He does not want to go for the small price. He wants to go straight for the juicy connections. And Ward, he's being chased back. I'm actually kind of surprised.
Yeah, he just completely crushed the entire army. Just a single tank was remaining, and these reinforcements. Again, like he kind of pushed in deep, and he was overwhelmed. It was
It's
difficult
not
as well
over
because,
yet.
yeah, he was surrounded by multiple angles as well. This is a pretty open position to be pushing into, and it looks like he's trying to do some more. To be fair, there aren't too many banelings, but a bunch were just morphed in, and I can't see this doing
Oh,
too
that there
much.
were. Yeah, I thought that if Cyril just went, I thought that war would have been fine because Cyril looked like he was investing mostly into Ling Muta, but that's a lot of banelings. Or that's not even that many banelings, but in relation to what Ward has, that's a lot of banelings.
Like, Ward doesn't have enough here to be doing this. Like, in a couple of moments, like...
Oh, but they're clumping up! They are clumping up, and the target firing is real. These banelings are stuck, and they are gone! Ward has just taken the lead in this engagement. The Mutalisks are gone, but there are even more banelings here, and there are no more tanks.
Oh god!
Puppy, don't get surrounded! Hot pickup! But it's not going to be enough. Serial, he is making the absolute most use that he can of his defender's advantage. A couple of Liberators are in the mix now, and they're actually taking out quite a bit of banelings. Serial pushed completely off creep, and now the banelings are gone.
But there are lings now, and there just isn't enough Marines.
I think it's just about the beginning of the end here.
The doors are open, he gets into the main.
And Serial, after taking 2 series, is now the absolute top of this group. It ain't over yet, but it looks like Serial is going to be making it out, and it looks like he's going to be making it out first. Or rather, it's... Yep.
Well, Serial, he's looking like a really strong contender for first place out of this group. To be fair, last week we did have a situation where a bunch of players were tied like 2-1, and it came down to like head-to-head to see who would squeeze out. But Serial, he's looking pretty dominant right now.
That he is the lone Zerg, man. You if people were worried about not having a lot of Zerg players, don't be.
Just don't be worried. Yeah, Serial with a really strong showing at the moment. I'm just updating the scores on Wikipedia as I can now do that. Ward, you know, he had a strong showing as well. That game, he was just, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with him pushing through the middle of the map. It just felt like he was really exposed to being like surrounded or being attacked by multiple sides by that Ling Bane. You know, there wasn't much like terrain that he could use to his advantage. But you know, that was the angle that he decided to go for, and he, you know, it almost worked. Like,
yeah, quite a bit back and forth there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, I think it was for Ward. I think it was in that last game a bit of reaction times because you could tell what he was trying to go for, and it could have actually worked. It could have worked and could have crushed Serial, but he was just like 1 second too late, or a split second too late, a millisecond too late even, and that can absolutely make a ton of difference.
That it can. And speaking of Serial, we're going to be following him into his last series of the day.
There we go. And then we don't have to worry about Zerg no more for the rest of the day.
We will be getting into Serial versus Lightning.
McQueen.
Yeah, Lightning, the other Protoss player here in the group. You know, we did see Darkblade. We didn't see much of him. We saw him for a total of 5 minutes. Hopefully, we can see a little bit more from Lightning. To be honest, I kind of like their names. I like to imagine there's this weird dichotomy between them where Darkblade goes for DTs and Lightning goes for High Templars.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
Or maybe it's the other way around.
But then again, there was also Take the Frank.
There was, yeah. I feel like I rag on him a little bit too much, but I mean, what do you expect, right? I just wanted tanks. That's all I wanted.
Tank, we love you. Or Frank, we love you.
We love your name. I love your name. You got that going for you.
I tried to do damage control and you just being a PR person.
It's been great casting NA Contender, and I would love to continue to cast like more seasons of this. And again, hopefully we can see some of these players return, like Tank the Frank.
Maybe I can play.
You're not from America, Yaku. You can't. What? It's NA Contender. You're not from NA. It's in the name.
Now, do you know that?
Yes.
No.
Despite your American flag bandana.
That's all the proof they need.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent them that picture, that selfie. They were like, "Yep."
Well, I think here we go. The lobby is made.
Coming in for the first CVP of the evening.
Second.
Wait, what? All right.
I mentioned the 5-minute series that we casted at the beginning.
Yeah, but you mentioned it. I just forgot it. All right, our players are eager. We're gonna get in lightning cereal. That's gotta taste good. Yeah. It'd be like copper. E. And speaking of copper, here we have in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Belladonna, we LE. LE, of course, stands for logarithmic explanation. Logarithmic explanation. I'm looking for one. I don't quite get the I don't quite grasp the concept. Here in the bottom right hand corner map, spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg, the lone Zerg, the only Zerg that matters. Representing ACSS. See, I used to never mind. It's yeah. We have, as well as Canada, we have Cereal.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Nightshade LE, we have the second Protoss player of the night. He is also representing Canada, as this is a Canada-heavy group. He is Lightning.
I gotta tell you, Light, I want a clan war now. Team Unrivaled, Rival Gaming, let's go.
Why does this keep happening? Why? There's Unrivaled, there's Rival Gaming, there's Born Gosu, there's Team Gosu, there's Gosu Crew, like...
Clan war.
We need a clan war, and we need the winner absorbs the other team, so they all become one.
Exactly. And then they fight off the winner of the other team in their clan war.
Exactly.
Call it Clan Square.
Meanwhile, we have Lightning maybe potentially being a little bit cheeky. There is a proxy pylon here to the south of the map. And this probe, you know, he's chilling here. He's working out a little bit.
He's yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it could just be a scouting pylon, but the probe still being there indicates the Stargate.
Exactly. Beautiful.
So not quite lightnings or storms, however, you know, storms from above.
Yeah, and you know, it still is early on in the game. We can still see some High Templar later on. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of links coming in from Serial.
There's no depth.
Oh, there's no wall! Oh my god! What? Why is there no wall?
Because he kept it for the Stargate.
Oh my god! He sees one pylon here, and that's a tell. That's a tell.
Yeah,
the fact that there's only one pylon.
On the bright side, though, for Lightning, at least this wasn't a link flood.
At least a Link Flood would have just killed him immediately.
It would have.
Like, oh my god. Did Lightning watch the first series and he's like, I'm gonna do one better. Instead of not hold positioning the Zealot, it's just not gonna be a Zealot period. Oh my god. And
but
there we
are going into a longer game.
They spot the Stargate.
They
oh my god.
Start the Stargate, and they're trying to depower it, but not before a single Oracle pops out. Having only a single Oracle instead of 3, though, that's definitely a win for Serial, as even a bunch of spores are being thrown down. The Queen is going to chase away the Oracle. Going to be trying to do a little bit of a drone dance here, and it works out decently well.
Yeah.
3 drones instead of a bajillion. Ooh, the body blocking here by the Adept. This is absolutely what could save Lightning's Stargate. But the Lings are starting to go around. This Oracle with such low energy, it is going to be enough to chase away the Lings. But now it's out of energy. Serial, turn around, Bright Eyes.
That it is, but he does prolong the Pylon's life long enough to get a Phoenix out, as he does manage to squeeze it out, and now he can start getting a little bit more map control, you know, chasing down a couple of these Overlords, making as much use as he can out of that Stargate. Which is nice.
Which is not that much, to be fair.
I mean, map control denying all these Overlords, it can be a lot.
It can be a lot, but that's also a little relative. It's definitely map control, and it's definitely more map control than Serial has. In fact, it's kind of binary, who has map control, who doesn't, but at the same time, it's not binary on how much map control you really have.
Yeah, and the Oracle and Phoenix do come in, and he does manage to snipe a single worker there. It was really nicely done, actually. The Phoenix went in first to tank the Spore shots, and then the Oracle came in to snipe the worker.
Yep, what you definitely want to do when you are on low Stargate numbers like this.
And in doing so, he did spot the Roach Warren, so he is aware. However, hey,
well, is it gonna matter? I like this build.
It's not quite 2 base. It is 3 base, but it is unscouted, and that's the important part. As well as the fact that the Stargate is unpowered, it is destroyed, so Phoenix, there aren't going to be any more Phoenixes. There's just the one.
There are not. However, will it matter too much in the long run, as Lightning is starting to live up to his name? He's getting the ground units that do very well against Mutas. And even Corruptors as well, if you think about it.
Yeah, depending on how well you land the storms, you know, they can do amazingly. Meanwhile, though, Lightning is pushing out with his immortal count. He does have 2 immortals. He has a handful of sentries, not too much, but enough to, you know, get a good force field wall, I should say. And he should at least cancel.
That might be enough. Yep, he does actually get the cancel. And he's not really pushing his luck too much. He definitely wants to know what's going on in his opponent's base. And
the scout
turns around. This is the money scout. He absolutely needs. He definitely knows what's coming out for him. Storm is already on the way. He should be warping in a couple of High Templar fairly soon. Another little scout coming in here.
Yeah, a couple of High Templar. I imagine we're going to see Archons come out as well, since Archons do very well against Mutalisks. Unfortunately, they're not very mobile, so that is the downside to them. If Mutas are harassing, and if Archons aren't in position, then things can go very badly.
Speaking of not being in position,
yep.
3 Mutalisks are going to come down, and I think this might be more than enough here. Only 3 probes have gone down so far. And meanwhile, Serial is trying to prong in with a bit of a multi-prong attack used against roaches. And it is actually working out very well for him. This 1 shield battery in the main is what's keeping the mineral line alive, as a couple of Stalkers are morphed in, or warped in rather, to try to chase away the Mutalisk once again. But now there are even more, and it could slowly become a problem Mutalisk, or not so much of a problem, as Lightning is trying to press the advantage, but what advantage is what I have to ask.
Yeah, I mean, these 3 immortals are nice. There's a 4th one on the way, but he just needs more army. He needs more buffer, whether it's more sentries or more adepts or stalkers. His army is just very bare, and you can see that in the army supply difference already. And ooh, these pylons a little bit exposed, but the stalkers should be able to save them.
And they actually do. Serial being a little bit over aggressive there, trying to kill something. But the only thing that dies are a handful of mutas. Not like it's going to matter in the long run. Anyway, Serial is coming in with a cucaracha push, and he is about to surround this from 2 angles.
Yeah, but there are a couple of shield batteries finishing up. I mean, there are 2 shield batteries here, and the one upside is
the Biles, though.
Oh, the Biles, Jesus!
They get as good connections as they could possibly hope for. The Roaches are coming in with a massive surround. The Immortals are really keeping Lightning alive right now. Will they be enough? And it looks like they barely will be able to chase back the Roach push of Serial.
I was gonna say that Roach push, it did look kind of intimidating, but there were only 4 Ravagers in that push, and that's just not enough to be able to break a Protoss army. He just really A-moved with the rest, and you really need those Biles, especially against sentries.
That you do. And it looks like the tables are about to be turned here. It looks like Serial, or Lightning rather, should have just about enough to take out these reinforcements as they try to trickle in, but maybe not. As even look at the defender's advantage. Look at how many Roaches are starting to pop in and run forward to get that flank.
There's no Warp Prism, so we can't micro the Immortals back. Like, they're just getting targeted down, and the army falls for Lightning. That was a very expensive army as well.
It was an absolutely expensive army, and the only army that he had, he cannot remake that anytime soon. And look at that, Storm is not even complete.
Oh my god, what? Did he cancel it earlier or something? Like, it was in production like 5 minutes ago. What happened? Oh my god.
No chrono, I think, is what happened.
The 4th does get cancelled by Lightning, and again, like, his immortal count being reset hurts so much. And I was looking at the army when he was attacking the 4th, and it just looked off. It was like, something is missing here. Something critical is missing, and it was the fact that he just hasn't had a Warp Prism this entire game. And it isn't just to reinforce; it's also to micro your high-tech units and you know, to be able to have good engagements. And I'm just shocked that he hasn't had one this game.
And on top of that, he's not making one either, right?
Yeah.
I just gotta wonder what is the thought process there.
I mean,
Maybe
I understand
he
that
just wants more supply on fighting units.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. And oh my god, there are just so many banelings here. They're gonna crash into the Zealots.
They do crash into the Zealots. Some of them actually crashing into the Archons, but fortunately the Archons were just too close proximity to the Zealots. The Archons are starting to get targeted down by the Cucaracha push. Even the Immortal, owie, my bones. Will there be enough? It looks like, once again, Lightning will just barely have enough to chase us back, but actually the Immortal, they're moving away from the shield battery range, and they're about to get surrounded like so. A little bit of a panic warping of Zealots here in the front, but it's not going to be anywhere close to enough. Serial is just marching more and more units across the map, and GG is called. Serial, once again, proving himself to be the favorite in this group.
Yeah, GG, well played. I do feel like Lightning, I think I want to say that he performed the best out of all the players that have gone up against Serial. Like, his army looked pretty solid. He was defending well against the mutas, against the Roaches as well. It just did feel like, yeah, it was a little bit questionable, especially like pushing across the map and losing his entire army. Like all of those Immortals, like it really kind of threw away any chance he had of winning that game. Yeah, there was no recall either, right? Like you expect something like that, you know, a recall or
yeah, you know, when people say that Protoss is the A move race, you're not supposed to take that at face value. It did definitely feel like Lightning, I don't know, that just having the Warp Prism, again, we cannot stress this enough, the micro potential that you can have with a Warp Prism in your army, it can be what makes or breaks a game, or an engagement even.
But as you said, you know, he could have been very like pressured to just pump out as many immortals as he could, and he only had one robo. You know, he just didn't have the economy for it. Yeah, it's just sometimes it just happens. Maybe he forgot it. I don't know.
He might have, yeah. One thing that might be something to consider is it might seem that Lightning, again, going off of only one game, Lightning might have been going for a plan with his build. He wanted to get, you know, that Stargate count up. He wanted to make the absolute most use that he can from that Stargate, that proxy Stargate. And when that was denied, I have to wonder, did Lightning have a contingency plan ready? Or did they kind of scramble a little bit for a backup plan? It does seem that they were decently prepared. They knew what they were doing. They knew that how to scout, how to prepare against what they were up against. But I don't know, something to keep in mind.
Well, the players do seem to be ready.
I get it. I can close this lobby right now. I can void it all.
Lighting spamming a little bit in the chat, you know, getting real eager, real keen. And yeah, you know, a couple of people in the chat are pointing it out as well. Like, where was that War Prism? Yeah, it's. Maybe it was in game
this
2.
time.
Yeah, maybe it was in game 2.
Exactly. And so again, wait, what? Oh. I misclicked and it brought up something interesting. I like this. Here we have it in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum, Yar Har Fiddly D, LE by the sea. Why don't you come down with me and we'll do it for free? I mean, you know what? You can do it for 3. LE, of course, stands for leopard entrance. If you didn't already know, I'll leave that up to interpretation. We have the Orange Protoss representing Rival Gaming, somebody who was directly seeded into this group, but now gonna have to absolutely fight for it. We have represent all the way from Canada. Can he do it? He is up against the one lone Zerg player. We have Lightning.
And in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, we have the other player who was also seeded into this group stage 2. He is the only Zerg player left in the entirety of this tournament. He is also from Canada. He is Serial.
I've never been so happy to misclick.
I'm a little bit worried. Did you misclick and see like the length of the replay?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you know how IEM has title cards?
Uh-huh.
It turns out I didn't delete them from my folder.
Oh. God damn it.
Yeah. But because the players who the title cards are made for, it's just blank. It's just a gray bar and some red light or orange light. But still.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It is. I don't know why I got so excited when I saw it. I was like, oh. So I'm excited. What are you up to, Serial?
Yeah, so
naughty boy.
As soon as his third was denied, or you know, was being delayed, he threw down the banding nest.
You only did this to yourself, Lightning. I gotta tell you, you brought this on yourself.
You're delaying my third. All right, this is what you get for it.
You Cowabunga it is.
We'll see if Lightning can take it. This time there is a wall at the natural.
Does that wall look a little wide to you?
It does. It looks quite wide. It looks 2 adept wide, or maybe 1.5. I don't know. It looks a bit weird. But you know, it is a wall nonetheless. Will it be able to hold though?
Darkblade's name.
Yeah, the Banelings are being morphed right here outside, and finally we have a Dark Shrine, but will it even, like, matter? Will it even come into play in this series, in this game?
I gotta say, I'm not convinced that the Banelings are even gonna matter, I gotta tell you, like...
Oh god, the Banelings are coming
like
in,
the
they're gonna
Lynx
crush
could
through.
just slip in. They do mention bust through, they do take out the adepts, and this is,
They depower everything.
They do depower
God.
every single production structure here. Doesn't even matter that the DTs are gonna be finished. GG is called. Oof, I'll eat my bones. After a pretty strong showing in game number 1, Serial just gonna end it in 4 minutes in game number 2 and be making it out number 1 in his group.
He is number 1 in the group, as I just quickly update the Wikipedia. Who do we have? We had Lightning versus Serial 2-0. Jesus. a very firm number 1 in Group B, I will say.
The only Zerg player, mind you.
That he is.
In the tournament, left in the tournament.
He's the Zerg Hope right now.
Giving us something to hope for.
That he is. So he is currently first in the group, followed by, as I just save. So Kuro can refresh accordingly.
Yep.
There it is. So
there's subtle hints.
So Serial first right now, followed by Ward, as Ward did take a map off of Serial, and then we have Lightning and Darkblade down there, as they have not yet won a series. But to be fair, this is basically all of them like playing against Serial. Like, those were the 3 matches
Pretty
that we've
much
seen so far.
Now it's a three-way race to second.
Yeah, we'll see how Ward, Lightning, and Darkblade fare against themselves, as those will be the following series. Do we want to take a quick break, as we have hit the halfway point?
We could. We could keep.
I think. Yeah, I think we will. Even though some of these games have been pretty long, I think we'll go on one break and then we'll come back and play the rest of the group out.
Yep. Okay. Sounds like a plan. See you then.
Enjoy the duct tape.
And we are back, coming into the I forgot to mute Twitch. Twitch is now muted. Beautiful. We are going to be coming in with the last 2 series of the evening. Gonna see how that pans out. Our first series is going to be a bit of a doozy. It is a tradition, a Yaku-like tradition, that we were worried that we were going to miss in this cast. We are going to be casting a PvP. The Lightning versus Darkblade. The Light versus the Dark. The Ning versus the Blade.
That it is the only PvP of the night, so I expect a lot out of these two.
I'm surprised.
The yin and the yang. See how they fare against each other. And yeah,
Shall we get into it?
Do you think we're going to see Proxy Stargate versus Proxy Robo?
I think we're going to see nothing but Proxy Stargate versus Proxy Robo.
God damn it.
3 games in a row.
Oh boy.
All right, players, there's a bit of solidarity between them. Both Protoss players, with them lost to Serial. But now, they are just putting in the guidelines. All bets are off. They're going to go at each other. There's only 1 spot left. And that means they have to win. Let's get into it. So into our first map.
Again, looking at the group, all 3 of these players that are left are looking pretty equal right now, except Ward does have that 1 map advantage. So he did take a map off of Serial.
And that he did, in fact, do. And speaking of doing, here we have it over on the top left-hand corner, spawning in the top left-hand corner of a Belladonna. LE, of course, stands for Lever Erasure. Lever Erasure. That's because people don't really use levers anymore, they use buttons. So it's like they're kind of erasing it. In the top left-hand corner of the map, Svenny, in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the Teal Protoss. He hasn't really been able to show us what he's really got, but now I think he's starting to show off a little bit of that. We have, representing the Gosu crew as well as Canada, the Dominion of Canada, we have Darkblade.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Nightshade LE, we have the Protoss player from Rival Gaming. He is from Canada. He is getting proxied. He went double gas. It is Lightning.
This is just like Final Fantasy 13.
This is just like Darkblade versus Serial. He did the exact same thing. If you recall, I believe it was on Everdream.
Yeah, I did. It was an Everdream.
Yeah. Hey.
Except that was a PvZ.
It was. I'm a little bit worried. It feels like he just does this with whatever matchup.
There's nothing up here.
Lightning does see that there is a proxy. Lightning knows now. We should see, I imagine, some shield batteries. I imagine some kind of defense coming up. And again, this didn't work out for Darkblade.
Wall it off. Yeah, it did not, but this is a bit of a different story. Probe is going to go in and is going to see the 4 gates.
Oh, that
he does. Ignore the probe. They just want to go straight up. There is a probe getting ready to wall this off if need be.
Nice.
Quick little wall off.
There's a shield battery on the way as well. 2 shield batteries.
For it. This is a lot and a lot of zealots here.
The gateway is... Okay. He quickly changed the rally. He had the rally down the ramp instead, which would have been disastrous, but the shield batteries are finishing up.
Yeah, now this is a full-on wall, and there is a stalker with another on the way, but will it be enough? A good surround here with the probes, and they are also able to take advantage of that shield battery, but the numbers are getting low. The numbers are getting very low. We don't know how low because we don't have game heart, but it looks like Lightning might be able to hold against this.
Yeah, he's holding. He's losing a couple of workers. He still has 13 left. He's only down by 4, and he holds.
Keep in mind, though, if Darkblade just keeps this up, well, assuming he was able to take out some stalkers, if Darkblade keeps this up, this is going to get even worse for Lightning. He has to Lightning, I should say, has to keep his units alive. He has to kite these zealots.
Yeah.
He has to make sure he doesn't lose too much, whereas Darkblade, so long as he trades, he's going to have the advantage.
It's on Lightning to make sure he micros appropriately and continues to kite with these stalkers. He can't take this too lightly. Oh god, he almost misses one stalker.
Almost being the key word, and they are just so low. He is continuing to kite, and he's continuing to try to make use of having a bit of a flank, and he is able to take out the zealot. Another wave of zealots are starting to come in, but the important part, Lightning kept his stalkers alive, and he is getting even more, and he is just continuing to kite this. GG. Lightning takes game number 1.
Yeah, and it was so important. As you said, Lightning didn't lose a single stalker that game. He did lose workers, but that was negligible. As long as he could continue to kite with his stalkers, and the longer they stay alive, the more stalkers he accumulates over time. Like, he was building more and more, and it was just going to get worse and worse for Darkblade.
I think Xenodactyl has just summed it up in chat. This kind of cheese concerns me. It's missing something. Do tell.
It's missing cannons. Is that what it's missing? For those who don't know, we casted Xenodactyl last week. He is the NA king of cannons. It's, I guess it's something to be proud of, maybe.
I guess But I don't know if it's spoilers because it is another group, but it does look like Xenodactyl will be casting Xenodactyl again next week.
Yeah, it isn't a spoiler. You know, the Wikipedia page is publicly available. The results for Group A and D are already in, and Xenodactyl, who was in Group D, made it out in second place. So we will be casting him in the playoffs. I imagine he got second place off of the back of Cannon Rushes. I hope so. At the same time, I also don't, because these players should know what his deal is, and they should be ready for it. But even if you're ready for it, especially on new maps, you know, if you haven't practiced Cannon Rush defense on some of these new maps, like it can
be rough.
Yeah, it can be rough.
Speaking of rough, we are going into the roughest, toughest, tootinest map in the current map pool. It's going to be Eternal Empire as we get in Darkblade. He's eager. He wants to avenge himself. No, not avenge himself. Wait, I guess avenge himself kind of works.
The first map was on Nightshade?
Yeah, Belladonna.
Okay. Cool.
All right, they're eager. They're here. Let's get into it. New maps are a buff.
Yeah. Again, like because they're new, people don't have much experience defending on them. So, you know, the more you cannon rush, the more you can kind of exploit that.
Early in this season, I imagine. No.
Yeah. Of course.
But
of course.
We have no time to talk about early because this is what really early. You do need to be early when you are Eternal. That's the question. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire, L-E, or Ile, if you will. Never forget that L-E, of course, stands for Lost Empire. Lost Empire. You heard of the Eternal Empire, but what about the Lost one? RIP Atlanta. We have, in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have representing the Gosu crew, as well as the Great White North of Canada. We have Darkblade.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have once again going for the same opener, going for double gas. He is representing Rival Gaming as well as Canada. It is Lightning.
All right, what are we in for? What are we in for, probes? Both of them looking to be a little cheeky this time. Lightning. He's gonna whatchamacallit, play 2 for 2. No, fight fire with fire. No, reciprocate his opponent. Actually, this looks like just a scout.
Yeah, we have a regular scout as opposed to Darkblade, who does have a little cheeky pylon here at the third base location.
Oh, that he does.
I imagine we're going to see a proxy Stargate, so you can quickly get an Oracle into the main. Potentially.
Potentially. Could be a proxy robo, you know, maybe try to get a warp prism up, elevator, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The possibilities are pretty endless right now.
They are. Meanwhile, Lightning, he is just checking this main base. He does see that there is only one pylon here in the main, which is, you know, which should be sending off red flags. It is, you know, as he himself is a purpose player, he has 2.
Ooh, even expanding right now. I don't know. I think Lightning might be a little overconfident. He is sending his stalker out to try to scout, and it looks like he will. It turns out to be a gateway, by the way. So neither of what we said.
The most boring of choices, just a regular gateway, and it does get immediately scattered. Yeah, I mean,
Lightning's trying to take it out, but Darkblade is looking to prevent that from happening. And a shield battery? Oh, cancelled.
Oh.
Yes, surprisingly.
Huh.
Okay. Alrighty then.
He really wants to protect this gateway, and he's going to be reinforcing here with more stalkers, so he's going to be pressuring very hard. Meanwhile, Lightning, he is not taking this lightly at all. 3 shield batteries on the way here in the natural.
I don't know about this for Darkblade, man, I gotta say.
I don't. I think he's gonna see this natural and be like, oh, like you are not kidding around. Nobody's trying to focus on the sentries.
He is, but it's not really working out too well. Beautiful force
the shield batteries.
Force the sentries into a choke, and the shield batteries are absolutely crucial. GG's calls. And it looks like I don't know. I'm trying to do math real quick in my head. I think Darkblade is out.
Potentially. I don't believe it is possible for Darkblade to win. It kind of depends. We'll see. But that was a rough game.
Wait, I just realized something.
Just seeing Darkblade push into the natural and deal 0 damage because of the shield batteries. The shield batteries keeping absolutely everything alive for Lightning. Like, oh god, like that was not a pretty sight. I
just realized something.
What's up?
I have 5 replay folders.
Yes. I wasn't going to mention that until later. Up.
Never mind. Pull a Men in Black. I said nothing. Let's go on.
I mean, we can.
Lightning versus Ward. Save it till the end.
Go. Yeah.
Alrighty then. Let's go.
So
how's your daylight?
We are getting ready to get into Lightning versus Ward, a TVP, the first TVP of the day.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's kind of exciting. Gonna have to see what is going on, and I gotta say, we were kind of saying Cyril and Ward were the favorites going in, but again, Lightning was directly seeded into Group Stage 2. So now we've got, I suppose now that the overwhelming favorite is out, we got a new match of death coming up here.
That we do, and it could really go either way. It's very important to note that Ward is the only player that was able to take a map off of Serial, so he does also have that going for him. He has yet to win a series, but again, the only series that he's played is the one against Serial. So here we have him going up against Lightning to see who is potentially the number two spot here.
There we go. Yeah. We can get into the lobby.
Yeah, fortunately, looks like one of the players asked for a bit of a bio break. You know, just quick pause. But yeah, we've got kind of surprising, to be honest. I'm kind of glad that at least Serial made it through because he is the only Zerg player. So we do have like that representation in the playoffs. Not gonna lie, I was coming into this kind of worried that it was just gonna be Terran and Protoss. So you know.
No, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that is tomorrow. Oof. Oh boy.
Oof. And it looks like our players are ready. They are eager. They want to get in on this as quickly as they can. So let's abide by them.
Yeah. Their bio break is over. They're ready.
Whether they want it to be over or not. But speaking of or not, here we have it in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Belladonna. LE. LE, of course, stands for... what's that name of that one place?
Lithuania?
No, I already did that one. It's Luca Espresso. I tried to go for some Italy because we are in Belladonna. We have in the top left corner of the map, it is our orange Protoss representing Rival Gaming. I'm just saying, Camarel, Calamari, you should set up a clan war. It's That's all I'm saying. We have, as well as Canada. I forgot to mention that as I hold on to my America bandana. Bandana. We have. I went full American there. We have Lightning. Well, I gotta tell you, I'm holding on to my Billy Bob's bandana.
And Sporting in the bottom right-hand corner, protecting his gas from that probe. He is the lone American in this group, the lone Terran player as well. Teamless, he is Ward. So, you know, if you're an NA clan out there, looking for a strong Terran, look no further. Yeah. Yeah. So far, at least, this tournament we've seen a pretty strong performance from him. But we'll see how he does against his opponent, Protoss player. And I don't really know what to expect from Lightning in this series. Ooh.
Well, that's one way of having it go.
Uh-huh.
Not sure if it's what you were particularly expecting, but yeah. Stargate. And this is something that, again, it's one of those tech choices that the Terran player needs to scout, needs to know that that's what's coming for them. Ward being a little, nicely done by Lightning. Does actually get the Adept off and chases away the Reaper before Ward was able to go in and scout the Stargate.
Yeah. You could say that is a little bit on Ward. He did focus on trying to get that probe kill instead of getting the scout, but yeah, he's coming back in. The Adept is out of place.
But he's still prioritizing probes, which I'm not sure is what he needs to do. There we go. He sees. Yep. And all is well.
He gets the probe too. Is he gonna get out? Oh my god.
Oh, he gets. Dude, this Reaper.
No,
shit! Oh, okay. The shake stopped. Okay. Okay. It's okay. All is okay. Well. It's fine.
It's okay, Yaku. Hold on to that bandana, Yaku. Hold on to Billy Bob's bandana.
I've been coming in here as a bandana. Coming in now for generations, I tell ya.
Ward does save his Reaper. He gets the probe. He gets the scouting. He knows exactly what's on the way. He gets a Cyclone in response, which I imagine will be for defense against either Oracle or Phoenix. Ooh, he also has a Weir Mine. Nicely placed.
Ward is going full on anti-air here.
Yeah, he's gonna go Vikings. Yeah, he's like, I see what you're doing. I'm just gonna slam it to the ground. I'm just gonna be ready 100%. So you know. Maybe a little bit of an overreaction, but regardless,
there is no such thing as an overreaction to Stargate, some might say.
Yeah, you don't want to underreact and then, you know, lose the game because of it, right? Ooh. The Reaper does get... the Reaper was trying to get into the natural, but it did get lifted up by the Phoenixes. It did get stopped and taken out.
Oh.
And because of that, just quickly checking his vision, he did not see the robotic spade going down in the natural.
That's another thing that's really important to look out for, because if Ward just goes full on anti-air, that could be trouble, but it seems like he's not. I think Ward is a little bit wise to what to expect, really. He is just going to go into that standard sort of two-base push with Marauders, Marines, and tanks. And you know what? Even with the Viking, that should help out a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, lifting up the Cyclone. That's not going to be enough.
Yeah, as the Viking is... the Phoenix is on his own. And, you know, I do kind of like this, that Lightning, he does have his Phoenixes patrolling next to the third. You know, like, just getting ready for a drop. He knows that because the Stargate got scouted, like, chances are he can't really do any damage on the other side of the map. So he's just focusing on defense. Instead of risking his Phoenixes. Yeah. But there are a lot of Phoenixes.
There are a lot of Phoenixes. It seems like Lightning didn't really... No, he did stop after 5 Phoenixes. 6 feet. What? Wait. Oh, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lightning stopped Phoenix production after a little bit, and this could actually be a little dangerous because Ward is very aggressively ramping up his production. He is just getting more and more units out, pumping out even more units. And if Lightning is using his supply on these Phoenixes rather than more, more useful units, I want to say, it's not going to look. It's not going to look too good for him when Ward does eventually push in. And here we go. Units are starting to make it out.
Yep, he is starting his push out, and I'd be careful with those words though, because we did see Special versus Creator, where Creator he used those Phoenixes to focus on CCing the tanks, and completely shut the Terran down. So we'll see if this time. Yeah, this time if Ward is able to protect his tank from the Phoenixes, as that will be the main goal of the Phoenixes, is like picking up those high-tech units, whether it's the tank or the Widow Mines or the Cyclone.
I guess you could also say who is the one to target fire first or to target fire better, but that's still up in the air. The engagement is going to happen very, very soon. Ward is just going to be setting up his units, borrowing his mines, and it's going to be on the Lightning.
He sees the Colossus.
He does see the Colossus, and he sees that it's only one, but he doesn't realize how many Phoenixes there are. And the Phoenixes do come in, but they're going into Marine range, trying to lift, but they're actually getting taken out and targeted down. The Marauders in front to prevent any of the Marines from being taken out by the Colossus. This looks like it could be very damaging right now. Lightning is starting to retreat.
He's chasing down the Immortal. He's chasing down the Colossus.
But these Zealots are enough of a buffer right here. This third base, though, will go down, and all of the workers there with it. Who lordy. Ward has just taken an insane advantage going into the mate game.
That was beautiful. He did what Special couldn't, and that was protect his tank. You saw that, right? The Phoenixes dove into the tank, and the Marines immediately target fired the Phoenixes, and the Widow Mines were also set up to protect the tank.
Yeah, that was a beautiful target firing from Ward. Maybe not the most impressive, but it's absolutely something that's crucial.
Hey, it's Special.
Or maybe not the flashiest. Hashtag called out.
Oh god, it's not fair to Special at all. But it was very impressive by Ward, being able to execute that and take down the third. And now he's in a pretty solid lead. We do have the Widowmans coming into the natural as well. Oh, is he gonna pull them away?
He does try to pull them away, but this is a very... Look at the SimCity! The SimCity actually working against Lightning's favor there. I think
can he
all
save
things considered, he...
doesn't.
He's gonna get some Zealots.
Yeah.
I think all things considered, Lightning did have some decent mitigation on losing those workers, considering the SimCity. But still, that's pretty rough.
Yeah. I do think Ward could have saved a couple of those Widow Mines. I don't think he realized the lack of anti-air there is in this army. Really, there was just feedbacks. That's the only thing that was scary about. That is scary about Lightning's army when it comes to anti-air. But we do have Lightning pushing out across the map, and I don't think he doesn't know. He doesn't see it.
But these are a decent number of Zealots, but they charge in straight forward, and he's just lost a decent chunk of them. They're gonna be out of commission here. The storms are here, and the storms do go down, and that's a double storm, and it does keep Ward back quite a bit. There's still a bunch more storms left on these High Templar. And these are actually going to be pretty useful in taking out the energy of the Medivacs. But in saying that, again, you were saying earlier, where's the anti-air? None. These Vikings are coming in, and they're looking to snipe these Colossus before they can be useful.
What's more important, he pushed out across the map. Did you notice that he was missing something? There it is! It's finally here!
Yes, that Warp Prism, and it does save the Colossus, but here's the thing. If there are Vikings out, okay, now that's a decent number of Stalkers. They should be able to zone out the Viking count quite a bit. Oh, we'll warp pounce on this. These armies are starting to pass each other, but it looks like,
the High Templar are exposed. The Marauders are going for the High Templar.
They are exposed. Ward knows that this is there. And look at that. The concussive shell is really helping out a lot, but the warp prism helps out a little bit more.
Does save one of the High Templar. But again, there's only one High Templar. He warps in 2 more. He has 3 in total.
Does have quite a bit of energy. I think he has enough for 1 more storm.
Maybe 1.
Look at his Viking count. These Stalkers are not at all in position, but it looks like Ward does not want to press his luck, or push his luck, rather, I should say.
I do like that Ward, he has stopped Viking production. He's now getting Liberators and Ghosts, which is a beautiful transition. And again, Lightning with this army, there just isn't enough here with just one Colossus, and these High Templar, they don't have enough energy to really be too threatening. Maybe one storm each. To be fair, 3 storms are pretty, they can do a lot.
Yeah. They can definitely do a lot. Lightning is trying to transition into Disruptors, and if Ward gives Lightning the time to do that, that could essentially just hand him the game. But if he doesn't, yeah, Ward is gonna have to use the Liberators. A little bit too ambitious there, that Templar was, but that was a huge storm, but I think it was an even bigger EMP coming in from Ward. There is absolutely no storms at all that he did, and I think that the Viking count, the Marauder count, and the Marine count is more than enough right now. Ward is so up in terms of army supply. He does need to be careful. There are Disruptors up now. He can lose his army, but it's just such a huge advantage.
Well, he just scanned and he saw the Disruptors, and really that is the most terrifying thing about this Protoss army. Even though Ward has the army supply, like 2 good Disruptor hits could change everything, so he does still have to be careful. And again, the more time he gives Lightning, the more time he has to build up more energy for those storms, so he does have to be careful. But Ward, he's rotating to the top, and he could deny these bases.
Or at least try. We could get into a base trade. Nope, Lightning is looking to fight this, to stand and deliver. Nice little splits coming out right now from Ward. That's 1 Purification over. That's not really going to get much done. That's just putting it on cooldown. A bunch of ghosts here, and they're going to be absolutely crucial with the EMPs. But again, 2 Disruptors, you got to respect that.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. But again, the longer he takes, the more energy these High Templar are getting. He did deny that base to the north, which is nice. And now the Vikings are exposed.
Almost. The Vikings are exposed, but they do take out the Colossus, and that's all they really needed to do. These Vikings are essentially just, they can do whatever they want now.
Yeah, they're gonna go harass, man. They're gonna go and land somewhere.
Yeah. Nice EMP. That was a beautiful shot, and a bit of a whiffed Purification Nova. Once again, Ward is just not fighting to the absolute maximum capability of his army. That was a good Purification Nova, but that was just peanuts in terms of the army supply of Lightning.
Meanwhile, in the main.
Yeah, these probes are going down. Forces in a Warpin of Zealots here. That isn't going to do much.
Oh, but the
Purification Nova gets so much! It got so much. It aggressively blinks forward, but is it going to be enough? It looks like it actually will be.
Yeah, the Purification Nova were just too good. 2 really juicy hits landed, and the entirety of Ward's army went down. And that's what I mean. Like these Disruptors, they're terrifying. You can't leave your army alone like that. And now Ward is pushed completely back. He does have a defense though. He does have a lot of Liberators, which will defend nicely against this army.
And I think what's more importantly is he's got a healthy economy and a healthy production compared to.
But they dive on top of the Liberators. The Stalkers do.
Ooh, they do dive on top of the Liberators, and there's nothing really here to prevent them. There is some bio here, but they're getting chased away by the Zealots. The CC is going to go down, and it looks like Lightning is actually turning the tables.
Potentially, there was a good EMP on the High Templars, though, so they didn't have enough energy for storms.
No,
and it looks like
they did more for the Archons. Is Lightning actually going to do it?
The Liberators siege up. Maybe they can help hold the line.
I think there's too much bio here in conjunction with the Liberators. The Zealots have been taken out. The Stalkers are being forced away, but now the economies are even.
I would say they're in favor of Lightning. Lightning is getting another base behind this. Meanwhile, Ward, he does have a backup CC here at the natural being
Ward has to go all in now.
This could still go either way. It was looking so good for Ward, but he just lost so much of his economy and his army. And now Lightning's army is actually looking really good. His economy is in shambles, but like the main and the natural are almost completely mined out.
Fair, his opponent isn't looking too healthy on that count either.
True. But bear in mind, Ward does have the option to lift his natural, to lift his main onto other bases.
He also has quite a bit of backup CCs here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lungus is mining.
Oh, the Warp Prism a little bit exposed. Almost gets taken out.
Man, rip those Vikings.
I know, right?
Where are the Marines? And this army is caught out of position.
Oh no, yeah, the army is caught out of position. The Protoss comes into the fourth base, the third base even, and there's nothing here. The workers
gonna
going
zone
down.
this out again, and there are so many storms banked up. The Liberators are gonna try to get something done, but they do get blinked on top of by the Stalkers. There aren't a lot of energy on these High Templar left. Targeting down the Archon. Will this be enough for Ward? He is down a upgrade. He is down on army. I think this is the end. GG. Wow.
GG. There was just too much Protoss.
GG. It was just one Purification Nova. That's all you need sometimes.
To be fair, it was two juicy hits just turned the tide of the battle. Unfortunately, it all happened at once, where Ward, he was sending off his Vikings and landing them in the main base to deal some harassing damage, which, you know, in hindsight, like, sure, yeah, why not? You killed all the Colossus, but in that split moment, you weren't looking at your army, and that's when the disruptor hits came in, and that is when lightning pounced. And oh my god,
I feel that. I feel that. You kind of gotta feel a little for Ward there.
Yeah, you do have to feel for him. He was looking so good. It's just
Howie, my bones.
Yeah.
Well, he is looking for a chance of vengeance. He is looking for a chance to redeem himself here, and he does kind of look like he might be able to do it. Remember, out of all of the games that were played so far today, Ward was the one to take a map off of Serial.
Exactly.
So
and
will he reverse sweep?
Again, like, he was looking dominant in that game as well. Like, let's be real here. He was looking like he was in the driver's seat, but you just can't slip up, especially when it comes to an army composition like that, like such a fragile composition like Bio, you know, as opposed to Battle Mech or some of the other playstyles that you can utilize against Protoss.
I am nodding my head in agreement. It looks like our players are pretty eager. Let's get going.
Let's get going.
Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah, and props to Lightning as well for, you know, not like crumbling under pressure. Like, despite everything going wrong for him, he stayed in there. He like did what he could and was able to muster up his forces, and GG. GG.
And speaking of which, here we have it in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting in the top left-hand corner of Simulacrum, your heart fiddly DLE by the sea. With me, you can get it for free with 3 installments of
Maturino, we haven't mentioned Maturino.
Maturino! Do Maturino in the chat will allow you to contribute 50 cents to the NA Contender prize pool at no cost of your own. I do believe that the code is NA Contender 2020?
I believe so. Something along those lines. We'll just quickly put it in the chat. There it is.
In the top, yep, NA 2020 Contender 2. In the top left-hand corner of the map, starting in the top left-hand corner of the map, the Orange Protoss, representing Rival Gaming. Looking so tough on him that previous game, but he is one of the players who was directly seeded into the group. So that should definitely tell you something. If last game didn't tell you anything about this player's skill or their grit, then the fact that they've been seeded directly should. We have, representing Rival Gaming, as well as the Tim Horton country, the Kingdom of Canada, we have Lightning.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Simulacrum LE, we have the lone Terran in this group, the lone American. And he worked his way up. He went through group stage 1. He's here in group stage 2. He was so close. He's the only player to take a map off of Serial in this group. And he was looking so dominant in game number 1. But here he is, down 0-1 in game number 2. This could be the last game in his tournament run. We will see if he can bring it back. It is Ward. Mate.
What is Lightning? All right. Well, we did say that we wanted to see something crazy coming in for the.
This isn't crazy. This is insane. This is a step above. We have the Reaper here in the main, trying to scout out what is happening. Where is everything? Feels like there's some tech missing, maybe.
Yeah.
Gets taken out by the Adept. He does spot the Twilight Council. But again, there's something a bit odd. And that is that there's a base in the top right-hand corner of the map. Mate.
I wonder.
I'm
Normally
worried.
when I wonder, and I'm a little bit worried. This definitely might indicate that Lightning will be going for something or rushing a late game. Does seem like he's going straight for Zealot legs, so that might not be the case. Typically, when you see a Protoss player take a Ninja base, they often go for a very quick Robo Bay or a very quick Fleet Beacon, something along those lines.
You do
Not the
often see like
case.
a fast fleet beacon, maybe like fast carriers, something along those lines, as they will have that extra income from this hidden base. But yeah, we do have Zealot legs going down. We do have more gateways being thrown down, but I'm just worried this is never going to get scouted. Like Ward, he goes for drops, but he's pretty direct with them. Oh boy.
Speaking of Ward, he is going to be going for that triple mine drop. And again, it's going to depend. Where does this medevac go? And it looks like it will, in fact, miss that ninja base location.
Exactly. It will indeed. And again, he's going for the main mineral line, so he won't even be able to see that there are, like, there is a low drone count at the natural. Whether that would tip him off or not, I don't know, but he is going into the main.
That's a quick archive, and yeah, this is definitely something that Wart needs to do. One of the things that is usually one of the objectives of the mine drop is to get scouting done. So after the mines drop, rather, Wart has to take a sharp turn and look at what's in the natural.
Ooh, quick drain pool though.
He seems to be prioritizing drone kills a little bit more than scouting. Again, it's a bit of a trend with Ward. He doesn't see the archives yet. Now he does. And this should be the tip-off.
Unfortunately, he did lose 3 Widow Mines for, I believe that was 3 workers. There weren't any juicy...
1 worker, even.
1 worker. Oh my god.
Yeah, because as a worker goes into the geyser.
Gas. Yeah. Unfortunately, there was a whiffed Widow Mine shot there in the main. And, well, at least Ward does know what kind of tech he's facing. He did see the Templar archives. He should be expecting High Templar, pretty fast High Templar.
And what else is it going to be when it's quick Templar archives?
Yeah. But, he should feel safe when it comes to other things, right? There's no Stargate, there's no Oracles or Phoenixes harassing, there's no Robo. So, there is that he can take into account. Yeah,
this should just about give Ward enough confidence to just keep pumping out units to go across the map relatively soonish. Early Templar aren't too scary if you are able to, if you're able to bait them out or outrange them with some siege tanks. But that's what worries me with Ward is he's going for mines, which, to be fair, that's not a bad move. It's definitely what you want when you're going up against Zealots. He is starting to pull some boys. Ward is looking to do damage, but unfortunately, again, Lightning as a ninja.
Yeah, I'm really worried because he's going for this committed push, pulling a lot of boys, timing this with a bunch of upgrades, but Storm finished up. It just finished up, so he will have 2 ready for this. And if Storms hit well, it could completely annihilate this army.
That it can. Both players being a little bit conservative. Ward does not want to, or Lightning rather, does not want to go into something unnecessarily. Not the best splits, but does manage to kite a decent amount. There is still 1 storm, round of storm left available for Lightning, and Ward has to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and his push is done. That 1 storm was good enough. The tank went down as well. Like the wind was kind of taken out of Ward's sails, and he's forced back home. Meanwhile, Lightning is getting a 4th.
This is just looking rough and rougher for Ward. He had to do damage with that push. He absolutely had to. He knew that his opponent would not have that, since he was greedily teching up. Either wouldn't have a lot of in the ways of defense, but yeah, when it's just when you're able to be pushed back like that.
Yeah. Oh, I do like the. Oh, never mind. He was sending Marines out to scout, but they turned back around.
Yeah, Ward is looking to go for round 2.
Yeah, Ward, I mean, to be fair, his army is looking pretty strong. There are a lot of Widowmines here, and if they get good enough hits, like all of the Zealots from Lightning will go down. But it kind of depends how much time he gives Lightning. Lightning, he's getting double Robo. And once those 2 Robos come out, then we're going to see more Immortals. And then he will have enough to deal with this army from Ward. Right now, Ward has, I feel like, this opportunity. He has a pretty strong army, but he's just going to give Lightning the time to tech up. As he's securing his 3rd.
That is the case.
Yeah.
I apologize. My brain is just going into Disasterville, so to speak. It's just it's panicking a little bit on behalf of our Red Terran player.
Yeah, I mean, again, to be fair, like the double Robo finishes up, double Immortal production has started. The thing that is going for Ward is that there's very minimal AoE. There's just Storm, and there is only 1 High Templar right now. Typically, 2 I should say. Typically you would see a little bit more because it does take time to bank up energy. So there are just 2 High Templar. There will be 4 Storms all up. So he does have that going for him, but either way, it will be hard. And we have another base coming down from Lightning. Oh my god. 5th.
This is Lightning's playing like a Zerg player. Kind of.
Yeah.
Alright, Ward is going in for round 2, but I'm not sure if it's going to do too much. It is 1-1 versus 2-2. He does scan, and he sees the army, and it's not a very beefy army right there. Mm-hmm. But it's, I don't know, I feel like it's, I don't want to say it's on Ward to make a mistake for Lightning to capitalize, but it's rough. I feel like it's a bit rougher on Ward in this case, as again he is down in upgrades. This is a pretty potent army that has basically been created to counter this somewhat.
Yeah,
but
to be fair. Yep. He does cancel this south base, which is quite nice. It is difficult.
Yeah, there are a couple of ghosts.
Yep. And again, it's this 3rd base location for Lightning. It's so hard to fight up there because there are 2 big ramps, and they're very narrow ramps because of the rocks. Like coming up those ramps is so difficult.
Splash damage even more potent there than it normally would be.
Oh, he's running.
Lightning is trying to press forward. Oh, on board the mines at the worst possible time. Does Wretch again EMP on these Zealots, and it does soften them up. There are no Zealots left, but there are still a heck of a lot of Stalkers. There are still 2 full energy Templar, and there are still 2 Colossus. Ward has to get the best EMPs of his life if he even wants a chance at fighting that. Meanwhile, he also has to defend to get up in his natural base as well as his main.
So many worth.
What are Zealots just warped by that ninja base? I don't see the prism.
They have to have been. I imagine warped in at that ninja base, and they did come down. Ward, he does defend, but the main army is pushing towards his 3rd, and there's nothing here.
No, there is not. This is watching a train crash in slow motion, I gotta say.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, there are a couple of Liberators. There are a lot of ghosts, but again, the scary thing is the storms. There are 4 storms waiting for Lightning.
But EMP though, you cannot underestimate that.
True, and that Colossus did just get picked off. This is the entire army for Lightning. How are the storms gonna land?
How are the storms gonna land? How are the EMPs gonna land? How are the Colossus gonna react? Nice EMP, and it does drain all of the energy from this Templar.
He can kill everything.
That is time for Ward to capitalize. He does pull the boys though, and he is so far behind in terms of workers, in terms of economy. He has to end the game right now. Ward, Ward is going right across the map. This is it. This is his one final shot.
Exactly.
But you know what? It looks like Lightning might be safe.
Yeah, it has to be on Ward's decision. On his he needs to push out now, and there are zealots on their way to harass his natural. He needs to let that happen. He can't turn around. He has to keep going, and end the game, because if he turns around, I feel like he'll just be too far behind.
He does turn around a little bit, being
Yeah.
sending back a force to defend his very the only base he really has left. Purification Nova gets whiffed a little bit, but the second one is huge, and the third one is even bigger. This looks like the beginning of the end here. These medevacs are trying their best to keep these Marauders alive, but it's not going to be enough. The Void Ray is going to be able to take out enough of those Marauders. There's so anti-air there, and again, the third base goes down for Ward. This defense, or rather, he had to pull military units back to defend, and it's
I think what you're struggling to say
rough.
is it's over. Really,
It's kind of over. I didn't.
Ward.
I don't. It ain't over till it's over. Like, it ain't over till it's over. But it's not looking good.
over. But it's looking.
But it ain't
real
looking
hard.
good.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ward, he had a really good opportunity there. He was able to crush and collapse on Lightning's army, but when he finally pushed out across the map, there were 3 disruptors waiting for him, and with decent enough shots, they were able to completely stop Ward. And here comes potentially the final fight of the game.
That it could. Nice dodging on the Purification Novas, but the second one that also doesn't really get too much. These are a lot of Marauders, and they do fantastically well versus Colossus and Purification Nova, but there are also 3 Void Rays there, and not a lot of anti-air for Ward.
Yeah, meanwhile, there's more Zealot harass happening at the natural, at the third base, and more SCVs do go down. And
Ward is just getting picked apart here.
Yeah, and again, he still has no idea about that ninja. And more zealots are being warped up there as well. They're on their way down. 2-2 finishes up, but
he needed 2-2 a long time ago.
yeah.
Tries to get a couple more EMPs, but Lightning is able to dodge them fairly quickly. And this could be the final engagement. Purification Nova is not getting juicy connections.
Oh!
Never mind, I spoke too soon. GG is called. And it looks like Lightning is going to be making it out of that group. Second place. Who Lord. That was a series.
GG. Well played by Lightning. It was a 2-0, but that doesn't tell the tale of this series. It was so close, especially game number 1. Ward, he was in control of that game and just slipped up just a little bit. This game, he had a couple of moments there, but that ninja base was unscattered for the entirety of that game. It's possible that he still doesn't even know that there was a ninja base there. He would have had to have looked at the replay. And
that's what I wanted to say. Do you think Ward looked at a replay later on and thought, "Oh, that was a ninja," or do you think this is still wasn't aware until now?
I hope so. I hope he doesn't realize when he watches us cast this, and this is when he realizes that there was a ninja base. It's really unfortunate and kind of unlucky. You know, he never sent a unit up there to check. Why would you? You know, you never expect it. There were a couple of signs, a couple of small subtle signs that potentially that was the case, but yeah, it never triggered in him, and Lightning takes it 2-0, man.
There we have it. And yeah, as you key in the this results into Liquipedia.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yep. We are not sure what I could really add to basically your summary. That I think that pretty much told the tale, but I gotta say, covering Ward since the first stage of the group, or the first group stage, it's I don't know, it's a little disappointing that he wasn't able to make it out of this group to get to see him more, but he put up a hell of a fight, both versus Serial and versus Lightning. So you can't really take that.
Yeah, you can't really take that from him. Like he did play incredibly well against Lightning and Serial as well. Probably the best against Serial out of all like 3 players. So I hope he isn't too disappointed in his performance. Because even though he didn't make it out of Group Stage 2, he still played incredibly well. And he should take something from that. And as I say that, we have a finalized group.
Yeah.
You did mention it before, and I'm sure some people are noticing. Ward versus Darkblade is not being played, and it's a bit of a shame because, well, I mean, even to be fair, even if Ward did win that series,
He will go to head to head.
Well, like he would be 1-2. Lightning is already 2-1. So
Yep.
regardless, there wouldn't be a way for him to advance. But yeah, unfortunately, Ward and Darkblade did not play out their series. That is why we do not have replaced the cast. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's understandable if they both did the math beforehand and realized, oh, we're not getting out.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, doesn't matter who won that series. Neither one of them could advance. And here we have the 2 Canadian players, Serial and Lightning.
I'm clutching the bandana to my heart light.
Oh, no.
But
for this,
probably won't have to worry about that too much for tomorrow's group. Oh wait, you were saying something.
yeah, I was just gonna mention for those who don't know, Yaku, even though he is an American, he does have an American bandana, which he does wear from time to time. And again, Ward being the only American, he was holding out hope, being the only Terran as well, and playing his heart out, but unfortunately he doesn't make it. And yeah, that's it for Group B. Tomorrow we have Group C.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be something that you're going to be wanting to watch. It is a tradition for Light and I, whenever we do cast, to be casting the PvP group, and so we are gonna follow up on that.
Yeah, we do have quite a number of familiar faces in Group C. We do have Reality.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just gonna say we have 2 MSO champions.
We do. Taldan and Reality, the 2 Protoss players. They both have played in our amateur tournaments that CranKy Ducklings run, Master Swan Open, aka MSO, and they have both won them. So those are 2 players that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Laughing Games, he does do content on YouTube. He does casts on Afrika, I believe.
What?
So Laughing Games. Pretty sure, right?
Afrika?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he did Afrika versus the World, the invitational tournaments. Yeah, on Afrika. Yeah, I just checked. Yeah. Afrika World Invitational, that is what he casts. A little bit unknown, perhaps, if you stick to Twitch, but as Afrika is the main sponsor, he streams on Afrika, and yeah, he does provide casts for show matches and other tournaments there, so it'd be cool to see how he plays. I have no idea how he plays. I've only heard him cast. And we also have a relatively unknown player in Basher Slice. Unknown to us, I should say.
He's gonna slice the bashers.
That he is. And reverse of Group B, we have only 1 Canadian and 3 Americans. So
there we go. Yeah. Watch a Canadian make it out twice.
Mate, Canadians OP, man. We got a region luck.
It's a Tim Hortons.
Exactly. And that will be it for us for today. Before we do end, this tournament does have a Matcherino link. So !Maturino in the chat. If you want to support the tournament, you can apply the code to provide 50 cents for free to the prize pool. I'll just type it in chat. There it is. Yeah, if you want to support the tournament, if you want to support the league in general, because this is season 2. Sugar, the organizer, he is trying his best to support the North American scene with events like this. So just support him. Do follow him on Twitter. Join the Discord. Like, they're good. They're good people, and he's trying his best to, I guess, do some grassroots tournaments and to facilitate like a space for these players to grow and become semi-pro or pro.
Well, I think they are already semi-pro, or maybe they're not. But to be going in full-on professional.
Mm-hmm. Right. And speaking of professional, Yaku, where are you? Where can we find more?
Where am I?
Where are you?
Where am I? I don't know anymore. Twitch.tv. I almost got into intro. Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I think the construction workers are under quarantine, so I might be able to stream again in the afternoon.
Nice.
Twitter.com @EmporeYakuzaku. You can buy my shirts.
Before we forget, shout out to Kuro. She has been streaming today as Australian internet did not allow me to stream it.
Yeah, the drop airs.
Yeah,
they did come back.
It cut my internet off during the second series, which was a bit of a shame. But Kuro came in to save the day and to stream for us as well as observe. So thank you, Kuro. And lastly, you can follow me at @light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter, but more importantly, follow the CranKy Ducklings on Twitter and this Twitch channel, as we do. We have a schedule out and we do cast a lot of events, whether they're for North America or Oceania, as well as Latin America. We do have a nice graphic schedule that's going to come up shortly, which has our full tournament range that we cast, and you can tune in. Do you have anything else to add, Yaku?
Thanks for the graphic, Kuro.
We'll be back tomorrow for Group C. Ciao.
See you then, Bella.